Feliz Miércoles HP. I'm Dania.
And I'm Neil, and we're here with your morning announcements. HPTV will meet today after school. Please contact Mr. Filer or Mr. Castro for the in-person and Zoom room details.
Two giant congratulations go out this morning to DECA and the boys gymnastics team. DECA has had a strong finish at the annual international competition.
And boys gymnastics celebrates the state champion. Special congratulations to Anthony Hyatt. As always, go Giants.
Seniors, for those of you who will be attending college in the fall, you need to request that final high school transcript be sent to the institution you will be attending. Your transcript is not automatically sent. Check out the instructions on how to do so on the post-secondary counseling site, and more details in your HPHS Giant Life News located in your student email.
3 announcements for the juniors. 1, please set up your post-secondary planning appointment with your assigned post-secondary counselor. Assignments can be found in Maya under Your Counselor. Appointments are scheduled online through Calendly. Links to Calendly are on the post-secondary counseling website under Contacts. Students must complete the self-assessment questionnaire prior to the appointment. The last date for appointments is this Friday, May 21st.
2. Please visit the link in your HPHS Giant Life News for a list of upcoming virtual college fairs and virtual programs. This list will be updated regularly, so check back often. College fairs are great opportunities to get information about a wide variety of colleges and universities. Virtual programs are excellent options to learn more about a single college, a group of colleges, or some aspect of the college research and application process.
3. Now is the time to set up your summer appointments for your senior photos. Go to www.srphoto.com to select your session type, date, and time. Please read the email from Stuart Rogers for login information. Any questions, please contact Stuart Rogers Photography at the information on your screen now.
Everything you wanted to know about Focus on the Arts and how you can get involved will be discussed at a virtual informational meeting next Thursday, May 27th at 11 a.m. Focus on the Arts is a fine arts experience held at HPHS for HP students and community over several days and evenings. The next focus will be in April 2022, and hundreds of volunteers are needed. Whether you have volunteered at Focus before or are interested in participating for the first time, please come learn about all the aspects of this wonderful event held biannually since 1965. To RSVP, email the address on your screen now to let us know you are attending, and you'll receive a link to the meeting.
National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month is a great time to start learning how to better support AAPI friends and colleagues.
While there is no one right away, 24/7, 365, Beyond suggests teaching yourself about the history of propaganda and hate and committing to taking actionable steps to be a continuous ally.
For more information and links, visit your Giant Life News. I'm Neil.
I'm Dania, and for everything we were not able to cover, visit your HPHS Giant Life News. Nos vemos en el otoño, HP.
See you in the fall, HP.
instructions on how to do so on the post-secondary counseling site, and more details in your HPHS Giant Life News located in your student email.
3 announcements for the juniors. 1. Please set up your post-secondary planning appointment with your assigned post-secondary.
I'm Denia.
And I'm Neil, and we're here with your morning announcements. HPTV will meet today after school. Please contact Mr. Filer or Miss Castro for the in-person and Zoom room details.
2 giant congratulations go out this morning to DECA and the boys gymnastics team. DECA has had a strong finish at the annual international competition.
And boys gymnastics celebrates the state champion. Special congratulations to Anthony Hyatt. As always, go Giants.
Seniors, for those of you who will be attending college in the fall, you need to request that final high school transcript be sent to the institution you will be attending. Your transcript is not automatically sent. Check out the instructions on how to do so on the post-secondary counseling site, and more details in your HPHS Giant Life News located in your student email.
3 announcements for the juniors. 1. Please set up your post-secondary planning appointment with your assigned post-secondary counselor. Assignments can be found in Maya under Your Counselor. Appointments are scheduled online through Calendly. Links to Calendly are on the post-secondary counseling website under Contacts. Students must complete the self-assessment questionnaire prior to the appointment. The last date for appointments is this Friday, May 21st.
2. Please visit the link in your HPHS Giant Life News for a list of upcoming virtual college fairs and virtual programs. This list will be updated regularly, so check back often. College fairs are great opportunities to get information about a wide variety of colleges and universities. Virtual programs are excellent options to learn more about a single college, a group of colleges, or some aspect of the college research and application process.
3. Now is the time to set up your summer appointments for your senior photos. Go to www.srphoto.com to select your session type, date, and time. Please read the email from Stuart Rogers for login information. Any questions, please contact Stuart Rogers Photography at the information on your screen now.
Everything you wanted to know about Focus on the Arts and how you can get involved will be discussed at a virtual informational meeting next Thursday, May 27th at 11 a.m. Focus on the Arts is a fine arts experience held at HPHS for HP students and community over several days and evenings. The next focus will be in April 2022, and hundreds of volunteers are needed. Whether you have volunteered at Focus before or are interested in participating for the first time, please come learn about all the aspects of this wonderful event held biannually since 1965. To RSVP, email the address on your screen now to let us know you are attending, and you'll receive a link to the meeting.
National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month is a great time to start learning how to better support AAPI friends and colleagues.
While there is no one right away, 24/7, 365, Beyond suggests teaching yourself about the history of propaganda and hate and committing to taking actionable steps to be a continuous ally.
For more information and links, visit your Giant Life News. I'm Neil.
I'm Denia, and for everything we were not able to cover, visit your HPHS Giant Life News. Nos vemos en el otoño, HP.
See you in the fall, HP.
national anthem.
All right, good afternoon, good afternoon. It's currently 4:38 on May 20th, a beautiful spring day. And right here we have boys lacrosse. I'm Stephen Noble alongside Ben Fitzsimons. Ben, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excited for this rivalry matchup. Deerfield won the first matchup 10-2 earlier this season. And they are Highland Park is looking to get some revenge.
Revenge or redemption, whatever you'd like to call it. We got a great game for you here today. Across the highway, Highland Park versus Deerfield. It's a rivalry as old as time. So it should be a great game. We got, captains from Highland Park, Matt Heileiser and Levi Goldberg, as we get ready to start this game here today. We got a great crowd out here, I have to say. I mean, obviously everyone's wearing their masks, socially distanced, but, really good turnout on a Thursday afternoon, especially in the middle of AP exams and finals. I'm very impressed. Ben, what do you think about this turnout?
I mean, not a lot of lacrosse games fills out the entire stadium, but with Palms and Jammers senior night happening this afternoon at halftime, and with a great matchup ahead of us on a beautiful day, not much better to do outside than go to an HB Deerfield lacrosse game. As we get started, keep in mind, stay with us. We are currently looking for a Deerfield roster. But anyways, we will continue this live stream and make sure you, the viewer, get the best possible stream possible.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm kind of new to the whole lacrosse game, so I'm going to try my best here. But we're off with the game. We have number 11, Jeremy Schwab, fighting for that ball.
And Highland Park comes up with the face-off, a little scrum there, but they will take possession. And that's Donovan Crouch, who throws it away. Miscommunication there. He was looking for Jack Manoni.
Jack Manoni has been one of the star players on this team. We were talking earlier. I mean, Jack Manoni is just a big guy. He plays hockey as well. Phenomenal hockey player, and obviously that's translating to the field here for lacrosse.
Yeah, and we were talking also earlier, and just a couple of bad turnovers as Deerfield now throws the ball away and gives it right back to Highland Park. But we were talking earlier about seniors on this team. That's Daniel Kaplan, Jack Manoni, and Matt Heiser, the big three seniors. And those are the leaders of this team. As Highland Park now drives it, and that will be Ty Meyer behind the net. Spins, looking for help. Gets help in the form of Captain Levi Goldberg, but he cannot control it, and Deerfield will take possession. Halfway through, they got numbers. Nice pass. And they off the side of the net. Close goal, but Matt Heiser with an absolute terrific stop, keeping this a tied game early. Matt Heiser takes it himself. He's going deep. Finds Jeremy Schwab. Schwab passes. and loses his stick there. Jack Manoni lost his stick. And ref almost about to throw a flag there. If you didn't know, lacrosse is a very physical game. There is limitations, but it's almost like hockey in the terms of penalties if you have never watched lacrosse before. As you might be able to hear, wind is picking up a little bit, but still a beautiful day. Flags flying high. Just heard the national anthem. 10:20 left in the first, and Deerfield has possession. Looking to make something happen. They go close side. Highland Park switches up. Nothing easy. That's going to be 27 for Deerfield fair side again. Great stop there by Highland Park. Goldberg, the captain, there.
And as you watch, one thing you'll notice is they really try to stick to that triangular formation. 2 guys on the wings, 1 guy's at the top of the key. I mean, kind of similar to basketball, no?
Yeah, definitely similar to basketball in that sense. And it's almost like a zone. They're not. You see a lot of college teams play man-to-man. But if you play man-to-man, they can expose your weaker ends. But Highland Park playing zone here as Deerfield gets a chance but loses it. Takes a tumble. Deerfield gets it back and shoots it over the top of the net.
And right there, I think you see a great example of the physicality that lacrosse really is. I mean, the huge collision of 3 guys. One of them gets knocked down to the floor. I mean, lacrosse is a serious sport in terms of the contact here, and it's one of the great things about lacrosse and what makes it such an underrated sport among, you know, the big sports that we know, the baseball and the hockey and the football, soccer, etc.
As Deerfield takes back possession. Looking up top. Again, Highland Park staying in that zone. Helps limit the weaknesses of the younger players. Shoots on the ground, never gets through to the net. Fight on the ground. Deerfield picks it back up. Big collision. Whack by a stick. Nothing happening. I mean, just great defense there by Aaron Kaplan. Aaron Kaplan, Daniel Kaplan, the 2 brothers on his team. We've talked a lot about siblings, whether that be soccer, girls soccer, specifically the O-line sisters. But in lacrosse, it's the Kaplan brothers. The Kaplan brothers are a key cornerstone to this team. And Daniel Kaplan, Sr. will be moving on after this year. But Aaron Kaplan will fill his shoes nicely.
You know, I want to go back to something we talked about earlier, which is zone defense. I think one of the things it really allows for the guys is, one, obviously you're not going to be able to expose those weaknesses within the team, but 2, it really gives the guys a bit of a rest. I think it's kind of underrated how much running and how much endurance is really needed for lacrosse. I mean, you're going the whole field kind of like you are almost for soccer. So, you know, it really takes a lot of endurance, and it gives these guys a break to really just assess where the ball's going and not have to just run constantly throughout the entire game.
Deerfield spending a lot of time in Highland Park side of the field. Tries to make a spin move, won't get away. Deerfield does not want to go behind the net. They like keeping it up top. We have not seen them go behind the net willingly yet. Big shot, wide, and Highland Park will take possession.
You know, we mentioned earlier, obviously, this is a rivalry, right? Deerfield, Highland Park, and Highland Park's fighting for some sort of revenge or redemption as they lost their first game, but I really think they're fighting for a lot with a lot of passion today because they are 1-8 in the season. They want another win under their belt before the season closes and ends very soon as the school year sort of closes and ends itself. So they're really fighting for a lot with a lot of passion. I think that will have a big influence on how this game goes.
And up the sideline now. That's Manoni, the senior, makes a move, gets open, and gets swatted away last second. What a play by Jack Manoni. Went full field there, made a couple moves, made a defender miss, got to the net, but was unable to finish. Great defense by the Warriors.
We now see Deerfield taking the ball up. I don't know if it's called a pitch or a field. Do you know, Ben? Is it a pitch or a field in lacrosse?
I believe it is a field as Deerfield now throws it away.
We're seeing a lot of out of bounds here. I think we're seeing 2 things. We're seeing A, Deerfield really in Highland Park's territory, and B, a lot of throwaways just out of bounds.
Yeah, and Highland Park will take its first timeout of the game. And so far, Stephen, as I continue to go on a search for this Deerfield roster so I could get you guys some key names. Number 27 stands out to me on Deerfield. He's had the ball a lot. He's kept possession, and he's gotten a couple of shots off. But Highland Park has stayed steady, including Matt Hauser with a couple big saves there. Highland Park, do they continue to sit back, make the defensive stand, or do they take chances, try to get out on the offensive field?
I think early in this game, right, from where Highland Park has been sitting all year, I think you really have to sit back. You just have to play defense. You know, you always hear defense wins championships. I know that's such a cliche, but I think really early in this game, you try to keep the score settled at an even. And if you can get a good breakaway like Jack Manoni did, great, take it and embrace that opportunity. But if you can't, you know, just keep playing that zone D, play it tough, play it hard. And then later in this game, when we get to, you know, the later half of this game, that's really when you want to start attacking and being a bit more aggressive. I think, you know, they always say, you know, you got to play to the last buzzer. You know, fourth quarter is what wins championships. And that's really the strategy that I think Highland Park has been going on and what they should stick to for this game. So now we see as this timeout slowly comes to an end, players come back, dispersing on the field. You know, we'll see maybe if Highland Park can get the ball a bit more. You know, they've been playing phenomenal D, especially, as you said, Matt Highlizer in goal. You know, these goalies always amaze me. Some of their saves that they make with the ball flying so fast, their reaction time is just incredible. So I really give a lot of props to, you know, obviously both goalies on Deerfield and Highland Park.
As Deerfield takes possession now after the timeout. Andrew Kingstep, big stop by Matt Hauser. Still in search, but we got the seniors for you on Deerfield. And Andrew Kingstep, number 27, is one of them. We were just talking about the force he has, and there with another great chance, just whiffed a little bit high. As Deerfield now takes possession on a call that Manoni was very unhappy with.
I was just about to say Manoni was pointing other direction, and it did not go Highland Park's way on that one. And, you know, that's really unfortunate. It looked like for a second that Deerfield was going to steal that pass midair, and then it looked like Manoni had it, but, you know, out of bounds and back in Deerfield's hands. I mean, the theme of the game here, you know, Highland Park's offense, their attackers, their midliners, they really have just been kind of sitting there waiting for their opportunity to shine and make a difference. And here might be this opportunity now.
And now going up the field, that's Sebastian Gosk. He's got speed. Gives it to Manoni. Gets shoved in the back, but no call there. Finally, we get the flag. Manoni finds somebody. And off the side. Oh, my. What a save by Deerfield.
I mean, really a great play. And I like how Manoni didn't just rush in, didn't just try to juke the guys out. He came back to the top, assessed where his teammates were, assessed where the defenders were, and then made his decision to pass from there. I think that's really a difference between his earlier run where he just ran in. There was no one there for him to pass to, but this time there was, and it was almost a phenomenal play. But as you said, you know, these goalies with their stops.
Flag was thrown here, so it looks like Deerfield will be down a man for a couple of minutes here. Highland Park needs to take advantage here. Manoni with the ball behind the net. Gives it outside. That's Gosk. Gives it up. Back to Gosk. Long shot and wide left.
You know, I personally don't like that shot. I wish they got it closer towards the net. I think it was a little bit wild and too far away. I think when you have so many teammates around you, and when you're really in this offensive position to make a difference, Highland Park needs to utilize it right now, especially with that man down.
Shot wide, and a great save again. There was Ty Meyer on the shot, the underclassmen there. Lots of underclassmen on this HB team that help out this senior leadership for Highland Park, and they're looking to get another win as they get the turnover here. They got help. Makes a move. And looks for Ty Meyer under the net. He's got Manoni. Manoni's side. Looking for somebody. Feeling the pressure. Makes a spin move. Got room. And loses his stick there. And we're going to get a stoppage to play. I think it's coming back. I think we got a slash. Yes, we do. Manoni just got his stick just absolutely ripped out of his hands there trying to go for the shot.
And you have to give credit to Minoni. He's just so agile. I mean, you see him making these spin moves, and the defenders are really missing. Obviously, there he got sort of stuffed with the ball, but, you know, on every play, he's been able to sort of make something happen, even if it hasn't gone in the net. You know, he's made opportunities for himself, and it's really just something impressive about his skill set and the way he's been playing this game thus far.
Yeah, and Deerfield, they're taking their first time out with a man down already. Highland Park looking to capitalize, and more in depth on Jack Benoni. Very, very good hockey player. And, I mean, all around, he was a leader on the hockey team. He's a leader on this lacrosse team. And he's a very, very physical player. He likes to dish out the punishment, not receive it. And that's something you're looking for. If we're comparing this to hockey like we have been already, you need those hitters. Once you get a couple big hits, it's such a wear on you. You start gaining some more separation. You start creating room. And they start trying not to come at you as much if you're dishing out the punishment like he likes to do.
And I think one thing that we've seen within these past 2 minutes is Highland Park's finally gotten the opportunity to play a little bit of offense. And their offense has really been good. They've kept the ball on Deerfield's side of the field, and they're continuing to apply pressure and keep it down there, whether that's out of bounds or drawing penalties or fouls or whatever it may be. But it's really been impressive to watch that Highland Park can play both defense and offense, and they've been able to keep this a 0-0 game. And, you know, we haven't talked about Deerfield's offense a little bit. I mean, they weren't able to make anything happen. We talked about, you know, how great Matt Heileiser is in goal. I mean, these goalies are not letting anything up on either team. So as players start coming back on the field, I'm excited to see what happens next.
Yeah, and Highland Park will get possession to start after this timeout. 4:49 left on the clock in the first. Play is started. And that will be Jacob Mull, a name we have not called yet, for Highland Park taking the ball. He dishes out. Nice spin move. That's Jeremy Schwab. Gives it back to Mull. Mull looking for someone. Gets someone in the form of Ty Meyer. Ty Meyer's got speed. Makes a move. And shoots it high. It's going to be Highland Park ball there, but Ty Meyer made a move. Just couldn't get it down. It was getting back pressure from Deerfield. And that caused the difference there. Ty Meyer now with the ball again. Looking to interchange with Minoni. Minoni will set a pick. Ty Meyer gets the pick. Shoots and scores! Ty Meyer off a Jack Minoni screen. Scores, and Jack Minoni goes flying in the air.
And right there shows how lacrosse is such a team sport. I mean, that play would never happen without the screen, you know, and everyone just utilized their skill set, utilized where they were on the field, and made that play happen, and caught the goalie really off guard. I mean, he came from behind the net, which I think is such a unique play to make. And, you know, Highland Park with their first point on the board, looking to hopefully get a second at some point as we restart back in center field here. And we'll see what happens next. But Highland Park definitely in good spirits at the beginning of this game, coming out strong.
I mean, that's how you start. It was a very low-scoring game so far. And Highland Park has faced a lot of high-scoring games. A lot of they're losing 19-1 or high-scoring games in the forms of 15-plus points for both teams. They like to start off strong. And Highland Park now has the ball again. Gets mauled, but somehow continues to stay with it as finally Andrew Kingsman for Deerfield comes up with it.
And I want to say on that faceoff, so much credit goes to Levi Goldberg. That ball was loose, that ball was flying, and Levi was able to pick it up for Highland Park, bring it over to Deerfield's side, and try to make something happen. Obviously, the ball got turned over. Deerfield now has the ball as they come on to Highland Park's turf. But, you know, credit really goes out to the physicality of this Highland Park team trying to make everything happen.
That's Cameron Sloan coming up for Deerfield. Kingsman now shoots, and great save by Matt Heileiser. Matt Heileiser has been spectacular so far this game. Makes a move, and something we've noticed, he's not afraid to go out of the crease with the puck, and as he launches it deep downfield looking for somebody, and it's just going to be a little too far. That was just out the reach for Josh Kaplan.
But yeah, as you were mentioning with Heileiser, I think it's really interesting the way these two goalies play very differently. I think number 31, the goalie for Deerfield, again, apologize for not having that roster. He's much more timid to go outside that goal. He just kind of gives it away and lets the offense, figure it out from there. But Highlizer really is interested in making a difference, making a play, and maybe driving it up the field a little bit to just get a better pass off and further down the field quicker.
As DFA comes up the side, great defense there by Sam Howard. Now, Sam Howard's not somebody who played a lot of lacrosse growing up. Just recently joined this team. But he's making his difference felt, and he's a speedster. We talked earlier about how Jack Manoni was a great threat for this hockey team at HP. Sam Howard in a similar fashion. Not as physical of a player, but he hits you with his speed. As DFA now takes the ball up top. DFA now up top. They're content just moving in a circle, and so is Highland Park. Finds Kingspin up top. Makes a move. Got somebody open. Bounces out around the crease and kicked out. Sam Howard with a great kick, and now he will show his speed. He's got it. Can't find possession, but it's going to be time out of his possession anyways for HP. He's got Manoni to his left. Gives it to Manoni.
And now here we got the two guys that made the play last time. We got Manoni, the man of speed and jukes and agility, and then we got Ty Myers, who just is able to put the ball right into the net.
Manoni with a great move, finds it and scores, but it's going to be
no
whistled
good.
dead. Oh my. I don't know what the call was there. I don't know if it was an illegal pick, but that's the only thing I could find. An illegal screen maybe, but... And now the flag's going to come out once again. I think it's going to be HP. Let's see the call on the field as Manoni had a great chance after multiple moves. Ref has not made the signal yet. We'll confer with his buddy on the far sideline. It's going to go against HP. Going against HP, it's going to be Deerfield possession there. As now HP will be down the man.
Now, if Highland Park continues on this trend, these turnovers are really going to become detrimental and may shift the tide to this game. I mean, we're going to have to watch and see, but Highland Park really has to be careful that they're utilizing every possession to their fullest, trying to keep that ball in their possession and not making these turnovers. I mean, like any sport, like basketball, it's those turnovers that kill you.
And now Kingsman up top, finds somebody, shoots it over the back of the net, and Deerfield will continue to keep possession. First time Deerfield was behind in the back net and shoots and scores. That's Ryan Kingsman on a bouncer. Bouncer over Matt Highlighter's shoulder, and Matt Highlighter with a first mistake, but you can't really call that a mistake because that was a great shot. And again, these penalties, these personal penalties that create a man-down situation, if you can capitalize, turns momentum a lot, and now Deerfield has tied up 1-1 with 43 seconds left to go in the fifth.
And that was truly the first time any ball got even close to going in Highlighter's net there. And as you said, it was a very technical shot, had an interesting bounce on it, and I really wouldn't call that Highlighter's fault.
Now we go to the draw at center field. 1-1 tie so far. Great game. Comes in, scoops it up. That's Goldberg, the captain. Goldberg, fair side, gets tripped up, but gets bodied off the ball. And Deerfield will keep possession, but we got a flag now, and I think that's going against HP.
And that's the second time Goldberg has really come through on that faceoff, scooped up the ball, and tried to make something happen. Both times, unfortunately, the ball seems to have got lost out of his possession. He wasn't able to make any sort of offensive play. But, again, Goldberg is really being physical, getting in there, and trying to get that ball.
It's going to be a technical foul against Highland Park. Interesting call there. Technical foul against Highland Park. Won't hit them as much as a personal foul will. But that does mean Levi Goldberg is coming off the field. A little more confusion here as the refs come together at center field and might be changing this up, and it might be going against Deerfield. It is going against Deerfield. Little miscommunication between the refs. And instead of Levi Goldberg coming off the field, it's going to be number 6 for Deerfield coming off the field.
And I do want to mention we only have 37 seconds left on the clock in this half here, so we're coming down on time.
As Highland Park now will get possession. We finally get the signal to start play. Highland Park looking to capitalize. They play down below the net. That's Michael Cooper Gimbel with the ball right now. Makes a move, passes it up top. Goldberg, the captain, makes a move, spin moves, got room, and throws it away. He was looking for Ty Meyer on the far side. Couldn't find him, and they turn it over. Deerfield regains possession. That's given up to number 11, the sophomore Brett Goldstein. He slows it down a little bit. Goes far side for number 1 on Deerfield. And that will be it as time expires for the first. Highland Park Deerfield both going to the benches. And a great game so far. 1-1 tie. We're looking for more. As they will take a little break and we'll come back for the second.
And we're back for the second quarter here. Ben, we saw some interesting stuff in the first half. Some great play from both teams. Give me a little analysis. You know, you're the man of all sort of sports. You know a little bit more than I do. So what does Highland Park need to do to succeed? What does Deerfield need to do to succeed in the rest of this game?
Well, I was very impressed with Deerfield's patience on the offensive zone. They didn't give up a lot of chances. We saw a couple great moves by Minoni. So in terms of Deerfield, just keep being patient, keep taking shots. Highlights is a great goalie. Won't be able to get much past him, but if you get balls on nets, that's the key. For Highland Park, keep getting the hands of Minoni. Minoni's been the playmaker so far. He's created lots of chances, and you can take almost a couple of chances letting Minoni streak out maybe early once or twice because Highlights is a strong goalie so far. 1-1 tie as we start the second quarter here. Highland Park quickly turned it over, and Deerfield gets it back now.
And I want to say, as you were touching on Minoni, I think part of what makes him so good at this game is he's just an athletic kid. I mean, it's not like he's played lacrosse his whole life. You know, he's played hockey for a long time, but he's just so athletic. You see it when he's running, making these jukes, making these moves, making guys miss. I mean, it's so impressive how agile he is. You know, and as someone who's not the most athletic person, if that athletic at all, you know, I really, in some respect, envy it. I'm very impressed.
And as you might have heard during Steven's statement, the wind picked up a little bit there. But still a beautiful day. Wind almost makes it so you're not sweating, and nothing better to do than sit. And the stands just keep filling up. It's not like they're getting emptier. They just keep filling up. Students are coming. Palms and Jammers, we remind you, will be at halftime. Unfortunately, we won't be able to broadcast the music due to copyright concerns, but stay tuned for the formations and view the senior night performances. As we get back to the field, Deerfield turns over. It will be Highland Park ball again. And Highland Park started off the season 0-8. Not very good, including the loss to Deerfield. Recently won in OT on a very low-scoring game, 4-3. As Deerfield
and this is dangerous. And Highland Park got back on defense. Matt Highlighter with a phenomenal save off the back of the stick, like the stick itself. Very impressive. The reaction time, the connection there. I mean, Highlighter is just on every level impressing me here today.
I mean, that was the chance for Deerfield as Kingsup bodies somebody, looks at it, but will turn it over in the process. As we get a whistle, and there will be Highland Park timeout. Matt Highlighter with a big save to keep it a 1-1 tie early in the second quarter. But going back to what I was originally saying, Highland Park Lacrosse started off the season 0-8, including a loss to Deerfield early on in the season where they lost 10-2. That was at Deerfield, keep in mind. Recently, they won in OT against Lake Forest Academy. And that may be the possession. Even though it was low-scoring 4-3, they got momentum. And Deerfield's the opposite way. They start off the season strong, like 3-1 around that mark, and have just gone on an absolute tear, about a 6-game losing streak recently, and are now in the process of a tight game against Highland Park. So Highland Park with the momentum right now, but a big opportunity for Deerfield to open up this game.
Highland Park is just a different team than they were, you know, a few games ago when they faced Deerfield, had that loss 10-2. They are a completely different team. I don't think that team that lost a few weeks ago would be holding up 1-1 right now. And I think Deerfield's a different team. Obviously, there was something that happened. I don't know if anyone got injured or if there was just something within the team or just things weren't clicking as, you know, stuff happens. But Deerfield's obviously a different team. And, you know, I honestly think Deerfield looks a little defeated out here. Are you getting that sense too, or is that just me?
I think they. I'm liking Kingsup. Kingsup's the man. It's Kingsup Manoni. Those are the two offensive threats that I'm loving right now. I don't know if I'm getting the defeated look, but they're spending a lot of time in the offensive zone, and when it gets into the defensive zone, that's might be when you're seeing them kind of look. And when you've gone on a 6-game losing streak, it's tough to always be like uppy as Manoni shoots one and goes right wide.
And again, Manoni making two guys miss. Two guys around him swatting at him, and he was able to keep that ball, cradle it, and get somewhere with it. Make an opportunity for himself.
It's now a dangerous pass by the goalkeeper there for Deerfield. That's number 31, Ryan Oakman. He gets the ball back now with space, comes out, feeling the pressure, gets rid of it. And now it's going to be Highland Park ball. Big turnover there. Deerfield maybe just felt a little back pressure as that was caused by great back check by Highland Park. As now we get Levi Goldberg with the ball. Jamie Kaufman dishes it out. That's Gosk now looking for a side. He finds Manoni. Makes a move. He's got room. Backs it out. Takes his time. Almost runs into ref. But gives it back to Kaufman. Kaufman's not the tallest person. Not the fastest. But very agile. And able to make people miss as he beats his defender. He's got space. He's got speed. Shoots it. Bounce it in. Bounce it a little too high. Jamin Kaufman doing it all himself there on that play. Bounces it a little too high. And Deerfield was content on letting that go. But again, Minoni with the effort makes a person miss and gets the ball. Deerfield there thought the ball was just going to go out and they were going to get it easily. Nope. Minoni gets it, gets a shot on goal. Kaufman now again. Close side. Gives it up. That's Goldberg, the captain, once again. Swim move. Launches a little too deep for Ty Meyer. And goes out of bounds.
And I got to say, Oakman, Deerfield's goalie here, is really saving the day. I mean, these Deerfield defenders are getting beaten on almost every play, and Oakman's saving everything. So Oakman's really impressing me out here because the Deerfield defenders are just, they're getting caught in the agility of Highland Park.
Great check there by Gimble as he will force the Deerfield attacker out of bounds and give it right back to Highland Park. Highland Park gives it up. Bad pass there, but Gosk will finally be able to control it. Gives it up to Ty Meyer. Ty Meyer, another underclassman. Ty Meyer and Aaron Kaplan, the two big underclassmen, keep your eye on. Ty Meyer already has one goal tonight. Makes a move. Gets to the front net and gets blocked. Ty Meyer had space. Got blocked by Deerfield defender there, and that was Cameron Sloan on the defense. Jack Minoni gives it up and shoots and scores. That's Michael Cooper Gimble with his first goal of the day, and Highland Park takes a 2-1 lead. All created by, once again, Jack Minoni. First with the screen, now with the nice move and dish.
Jack Minoni being such an integral part of this team, such an important part of this team, and has now been the setup for 2 goals for Highland Park. The first one being Ty Myers, made the great pick, and the second one being with Cooper Gimble here, made a phenomenal pass. I mean, Minoni's not scoring the goals, but man, is he making an impact with his agility, with his speed, with his ability to just analyze and see the field. I mean, it's incredible.
As now the senior Zane Danielwisk, heard last name pronounced, but Zane Danielwisk will take this draw at center field for Deerfield. Looking to get the momentum back in Deerfield's side after a big goal there by Highland Park. 7:57 left on the clock and ticking. 2-1 Highland Park. That's 7:50 and ticking left in the second quarter. Great defensive play there.
And now
Jack Fishman with the big hit there. Jack Fishman runs off the field. I mean, he just came on and just wrecked some guy. You see the sideline going up. You see it in goal. And Ty Meyer almost with his second goal of the day. I mean, we don't have replay right now, but if we did, just rewind a little bit back in this live stream. Go to about the 40-yard line. You see Jack Fishman runs on the field and absolutely levels the Deerfield player and gives a great chance to Highland Park. Wow. We were talking earlier how we want to see some big hits, and there another big hit by Deerfield. We want to see some big hits, and we just got one.
And it's that aggressive nature of some of these Highland Park players that are really going to help propel them to the win, and that has so far. I mean, you've seen Jack Minoni not being scared of these defenders and just juking them out, and now you see Fishman really being aggressive and taking possession of that ball and command of this game.
Jack Fishman sprints back on the field now. And Ty Meyer loses possession there. But Jack Fishman, another hockey player, converted lacrosse player, adding physicalness to this HB lacrosse team. Kingsup gets it knocked down. And great defense there by Sam Howard. Sam Howard has speed. Makes a move. He's running. Nobody is going to catch him. Makes another move. Dumps it off to Ty Meyer.
And now Ty slows it down. And I think that's something really great about Highland Park's offense is that they're able to slow it down and they're able to speed it up. They can put the brakes and they recognize when to.
Ty Meyer almost loses it, but gets it off to Gimble with a ready goal today. Minoni back on the field. Tries to split two defenders. And it will be Deerfield ball on the turnover. What a jump there by Minoni. Minoni went full Superman there, try to get to turnover, knocks the ball up, but Deerfield will continue to keep possession here. First time behind the net willingly for Deerfield. They'll keep it behind the net there. Passes it up top for number 14, Nate Gross. We get a whistle on the field. And it's going to be Highland Park ball. Turnover once again by Deerfield, and those turnovers deep in Highland Park zone is hurting this Deerfield team right now. We get a whistle now on the field. And a timeout was called. 5:30 left in the second quarter here. A recent goal by Michael Cooper Gimbel gives Giants a 2-1 lead over this Deerfield team. And, I mean, you can see the energy flowing out of this Highland Park team right now. You got Jack Fishman lining people up. You got Jack Minoni full Superman dive, laying out to get a turnover. And then, of course, Sam Howard just beating everybody down the field.
I just love, let's just take a moment. Let's contrast, the beginning of this game and right now, because I love the contrast here. We started this game and almost nervous for Highland Park. Deerfield spending so much of that first half in Highland Park's territory, at least the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game. Highland Park turned the tides, scored that first goal. And that propelled them to really make this an interesting game. We saw Highland Park and Deerfield going back and forth, fighting for that ball. Highland Park spending more time in Deerfield's territory. Deerfield had a really nice shot. Bounce kind of weird, went right into Highliser's goal, despite his phenomenal play today. Then we go out and we come out in the second half, and Highland Park has dominated, really staying in Deerfield's part of the field, making some great shots, and allowing that second goal to be made here in that second half. And it's been a great game to watch so far. Very competitive, a lot of spirit, a lot of heart, and we got 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in this second quarter here.
And not to mention the fans have been getting into this game. We've seen some big oohs and ahs after a couple big hits and moves from this massive crowd, both from Highland Park and Deerfield. And social distancing. I know we got recently with the no mask mandate, but I mean, it's almost a full stadium right now. It's something great to see in the COVID era. We're getting back to normal. Everybody's showing up to games, having fun.
And it's really this District 113 community. Yes, we're two separate schools, of course. We have this rivalry. But that's something beautiful about Highland Park Deerfield games, that you get both fans coming because the schools are so close to each other. The towns are right across the highway.
Timeout now has possession. Goes in and shoots it wide. Great defense there. And that's Brett Goldstein with the nice deflection there, not allowing Timeout to come down with his stick, and the ball goes up top. Timeout will get possession, however, behind the net. Makes a move. Looking for somebody. Gets hit in the head. And we get a penalty. We get 2 penalties. Both of them going against Deerfield. Highland Park should be up a man or two at least.
And as we mentioned about these fans, and we've mentioned this already, but doesn't hurt to mention again, yes, a lot of them are here for lacrosse, but they're also here because it's Palms and Jammers senior night. As more things have opened up throughout the year, another thing that's opened up is the ability for these girls that love dance to come back to their teams and dance once again at these games, something they love to do and something that they've been doing for the past few months. It's really beautiful to see, everything kind of open up once again and people really coming in with passionate spirits to get back and doing what they love in person with other people and making those face-to-face connections.
And that will be Zane Danowich with the personal foul. He will have to sit out. Highland Park will be a man up. Timeout now with the ball, looking down deep. Going to give it to Gimbel. Gimbel has people. Instead decides to take himself. And a bad turnover by Highland Park. You're a man up. Not much pressure, and you turn over, giving Deerfield a chance. As Deerfield now comes rushing up the field, looking for a short-handed goal here. Instead, they decide to pull it back out smartly, taking time off the clock. We got a timeout, Deerfield, on the field. Smart timeout there, 4:20 left. Deerfield a man down. Coach is going to tell them, we know we want to score here, but you have a man down. Highland Park has possession. Let's try not to get too fancy. Highland Park just turned it over to us. Let's not turn it right back over to them.
Yeah, the key when you have a man down is really not about scoring. It's just about keeping the ball outside of possession of Highland Park at this point. It's just about keeping it in your possession, passing it around, and as you said, don't try anything fancy. Don't try to be aggressive and score. Just stay on that outside key, outside arc, and just play the passing game until our man can come back in. And then that's when we can start being aggressive again. Because when Highland Park gets the ball on offense and you're a man down, that's a scary situation on D.
Indeed so, as Highland Park 2-1 lead, 4:21 left in the second quarter. It's a lovely 82 degrees right now, and as some of you may have heard, wind is blowing at a solid 15 miles per hour, but nothing is stopping these fans from enjoying a great Highland Park Deerfield Varsity lacrosse game. As we get back to the field, Deerfield still will be a man down, but they will retain possession after the timeout. Wind has been pretty much solid all throughout the day so far. We get the whistle to start this. Deerfield will start it. And Jack Fishman looking to turn over, and he gets the turnover. And bumps into another one. Unfortunately, can't control possession and will send the ball out of bounds. Deerfield now looking for something. Move there, but pressure nicely by Highland Park. It's Goldberg on the pressure. Now number 14, Nate Gross taking a sweet time up top. As Deerfield looks to just kill some of this clock. They're no longer a man down. It is even strength now. Deerfield, this is their chance to score. They got room. Nate Gross in a nice block by Matt Hauser. Nate Gross tries to go down low. Matt Hauser says he doesn't want any of that. Keeps it a 2-1 game. Deerfield now, close side. Passes it back up. That's first side now. That's Ryan Bushka. He comes up top. Looking for somebody. Looking for a shot. Doesn't find him. Nate Gross finds somebody in the middle. Shot and just wide. Great shot there by Joey Brown. Wind has caused these pylons to blow over, and Russ now almost lucky it, gets another ball back in play, and Josh Gallender will be Deerfield's pitcher choice to get the ball.
With just 3 minutes left, Deerfield's looking to tie this game up, make it a 2-2 game. Obviously struggling here as they haven't been able to land any shots, but they've really made some great opportunities for themselves. And one of the things about this Deerfield offense, we've talked about it, but they're very patient and methodical in their approach. They wait and they don't just shoot right away. They don't just drive in. They really assess the situation, and what they're trying to do is draw that Highland Park defense to be aggressive and attack so they can find an opening. And Highland Park's not playing into it. Highland Park's staying patient with Deerfield and just letting the ball sort of go where it's going to go and making plays where they can.
A nice back pressure there. That's Daniel Kaplan, the senior, causing Deerfield to lose possession on what looked like to almost be an odd man break for them there. Deerfield now will continue to keep possession. In terms of the melodical pace Deerfield likes to run on offense, we see Highland Park a lot of times put behind the net. They like to go behind the net, create moves, come up from behind the net, and Deerfield, for the first time in a while, finally goes behind the net. Deerfield shoots it wide, and that is Cameron Sloan. Didn't get much on that shot, goes wide, but like I was saying, Deerfield likes to keep it up top, and if you let Highland Park just gain the rhythm defensively, they're not going to be lulled to sleep as Matt Hauser. Easy shot there.
Beautiful save.
Easy save there. Nobody in front of him to block his vision as he will now looking for Sam Howard, but quickly turned over. But again, DFS looking to lull this Highland Park defense to sleep, and Highland Park has stayed strong in the focus. Now up top, Deerfield looking for the shot, and just wide. There's Ryan Busker on the shot, again high. The last couple of misses for Deerfield has been high. And a lot of times when you see high misses, it's a lot of deflections, but nope. Highland Park, for the most part, has just stayed in the spots and forced Deerfield to shoot long misses.
And I think that's partly because Deerfield's not going behind the net like Highland Park is. I think when you go behind the net, you're allowing yourself more space and more room to look at the field and catch the goalie off guard. And I think if Deerfield, obviously they have a offense that they like to run and that they're running, but maybe if they utilize some more opportunities behind the net, they could try to catch Highlizer off guard a bit more and not be forced to just take those long shots out on the arc.
And Jeremy Schwab up there drew the penalty for Highland Park. So Highland Park, we'll see what the call is, but they will have an advance coming up. Jack Manoni here makes a move, fakes the pass, and will just take it right back out. Slows it down, not in a hurry. 40 seconds left and ticking. Fans are getting loud here.
They're looking for something like a buzzer beater here in the last 30 seconds of the second quarter.
Jack Manoni makes a move, makes another move. He's got space, shoots, and just wide. There's a couple inches left of that third post, and that would have been a spectacular goal that this crowd would have loved.
And Manoni really deserves a goal out here. I mean, he's been doing so much work, getting his teammates goals, putting together great plays and assists, taking the ball up and down the field. I mean, he's the next one. He's due for a goal, in my opinion.
And Highland Park, with 20 seconds left here, will be a man up as after Deerfield got called for the Jeremy Schwab slashing. Jeremy Schwab drew that call. And Highland Park now will almost be content going in this half with the 2-1 lead. Very low scoring. You see a lot of lacrosse games in the double digits by halftime. Not this case. Highland Park, the last couple of games, have slowed it down, played great defense. One last time in OT 4-3. Looks like the same. 5 seconds left and ticking. That will be it for this first half. Highlights from this first half. Jack Manoni. I mean, that's all we have to say, basically. Jack Manoni.
Just the name, and it says everything. I mean, he's just been an integral part of this team, setting up assists, allowed both of the goals to happen. It was just incredible.
Yeah, Jack Manoni screens for Ty Meyer's first goal, then makes a couple moves, gets up in front of the net. Nice little dump off to Kimball, who gets an easy finish. That'll leave Highland Park with the 2-1 lead at half. Stay tuned for this Palms and Janners senior night. We'll see you back for the second half.
Supported them not only this past year but all along. First up, Drew Bernstein, escorted by Vicky and Bob Bernstein. And David Bordeaux. Noah Diane, escorted by Elise and Steve Diane. Next up, Emma Hovis. Emma is escorted tonight by Tracy and Kevin Hovis. Cade Perlman, escorted by Jill and Gavin Perlman. Next up is Nicole Pearlstein. Nicole is escorted by Betsy Pearlstein. Emma Perper is next, escorted by Dan and Danielle Perper. Rebecca Posner, escorted by Deborah and Ross Posner. Next up is Talia Shore. Talia is escorted by Jamie Shore. Aaliyah Strauss is next. Aaliyah is escorted by Jay and Stacy Strauss. Cammie Wexler. Cammie is escorted by Beth and Michael Wexler. Let's have one big hand for all our senior jammers and their parents. Please welcome the Palms to the field.
And we're back. I'm Stephen Noble alongside Ben Fitzsimons. We're here with boys lacrosse. Big rivalry here today. Highland Park High School versus Deerfield High School just across the highway. It's 2-1 Giants. Highland Park Giants, that is. Ben, recap that first half for me. It was very exciting.
Yeah, it got off to a very slow pace. We didn't have our first goal until about 10 or so minutes into the game, and it also with a Ty Meyer score on a Jack Minoni screen. Deerfield later tied it up, and Highland Park finally ended the half with another score, an assist. The assist coming with Jack Minoni, and the score coming with Michael Gimbel. As we start the second half, 11:45 is on the clock, 15 seconds into the second half. Like Steven said, 2-1 lead for the Giants, and the Warriors are looking to do something soon.
And look at this aggressive nature of Levi Goldberg, really just trying to make something happen. And now Minoni throws the ball over all the way to Ty Meyer, I believe that is. Nothing made there, but you can just see the effort and the aggressiveness of the Giants really coming through and shining.
Jack Minoni finds the ball in his hands, makes a move, but gets slapped out, and that's gotta be a penalty. Oh my. He's gotta be staying on the ground for at least 3 minutes. Jack Minoni just got cheap shot there by Cameron Sloan. Cameron Sloan not even going for the puck or anything, just cheap shot there. Took around the neck, and he will be coming off the field. It's got to be for a decently long time, because that was a blatant cheap shot on the Highland Park's main player, Jack Minoni, there. And they're going to call it on both. Wow. Jack Minoni and Cameron Sloan will both sit out for 2 minutes, but that is, oh my.
And I have to say, that's a huge loss for the Giants. We've seen Jack Minoni out here. I don't even know if he sat on the bench all game. He's been so dominant and such an integral part to both the Giants, mainly Giants offense, but probably the Giants defense too when they're trying to kick that ball out to the midfield. So this will really be a time for Deerfield to capitalize because we are even men on the field. So Deerfield still has that opportunity to be aggressive, especially as one of Highland Park's main guys is out of the game.
The ref has been over there a while. It looks like he's giving warnings to both players.
As Jack Minoni comes back in the game. Does Sloan come back in the game as well?
I believe Jack Minoni is still sitting on the bench.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that was Jacob Mall who came trotting into the game.
My mistake.
But confusion on the sideline, and Deerfield coach is upset, but that was a blatant cheap shot. I didn't see anything bad by Minoni, but both players were set out nevertheless. Highland Park with the ball after the long delay there. And now we got Kaufman with room. Gets defended and turned around there, but will continue fighting for the ball. Scum on the outside, and it finally kicks out, and it will be confusion there. It will be Deerfield ball. Lots of confusion to start the second half. Lots of big hits, lots of big penalties, but before the big collision with Jack Minoni and Cameron Sloan, Jack Minoni almost had another absolutely amazing sit to Ty Meyer. Crossfield in the breadbasket for Ty Meyer, but just a fantastic save there by Deerfield. Deerfield turns it back over, and Giants will take back possession. Now Jack Minoni comes trotting on the field. So it looks like Jack Minoni got a less severe call than Cameron Sloan, which I believe should be the correct call there. And so now Giants will be a man up for a short little time here. Goldberg with the ball, finds Ty Meyer. Back up to Goldberg. Back to Ty Meyer, fair side. Now it's even strength. Cameron Sloan comes running back on field.
And this is something the Giants love to do, is is play behind the net a bit and really take their time there and assess the situation and then try to come in and catch that goalie off guard. I mean, that's how the Giants got their first goal in this game.
Cleared out there by Deerfield smartly. Goldberg now on the close side will take the ball into play. Goldberg gets a little mashed up there. Continues to keep possession, though, strongly. And finally loses possession.
Can he redeem it as he runs for the ball? And it gets picked up by the Giants, but a whistle's blown. And it's going to be Deerfield's ball going the other way.
It looks like almost an offsides call there, but Brett Goldstein on Levi Goldberg. Brett Goldstein just absolutely, pressured him to give away that ball and finally create the turnover. Now Deerfield looking to capitalize here. They're up top.
And they've been up top all game. I mean, they've been taking longer shots throughout this game. They haven't been driving in like Highland Park is, except for right now, and that shot seems to be wide.
And Matt Heiser, risky play. Not knowing where, but he went out of his net. Deerfield players all around him and snuck up and got the ball. And now Highland Park has possession and man running. Jack Manoni close side will slow this ball down. Let his teammates come up.
And that pass right there with Highlizer in trouble, right to Gosk, number 16, was probably one of the best passes I've seen in this game, especially as Highlizer was under pressure by the defense and didn't want to give it up, because if he gave up the ball, well, guess what? The net's wide open for a score.
Jess Kaplan now reverses it first side to Schwab. Timeout now first side looking for somebody. He finds somebody in Josh Kaplan. Looking to Manoli, won't find them. It's going to stay first side. Deerfield's fine. And now Meyer gets in and great stop. What a save. Timeout rushing the net. Deerfield met him out top. And Ryan Oakman, the goalie, met him in his place and kept this a 2-1 game.
And you see right there, that's the issue with Deerfield and how they're playing. You know, great defensive stop. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, Ty should have had that goal, but of course the defense was standing in the way. And then they chuck it downfield. There's no method. There's no logic. And the ball goes way over, the attacker's head or the midfielder's head and out of bounds. And now we're left with a turnover with Highland Park with the ball. I mean, these turnovers are really what's going to be the defeat of Deerfield here today.
7:50 left on the clock and instead called it. Highland Park will take its first time out of the second half. And big hits, big penalties, but Ty Meyer with a couple of good chances here. Jack Manoni setting up a lot of those chances, but Ty Meyer has only been able to capitalize on one. Look to him by the end of this game to have at least 2 or 3 goals, because he has gained prime opportunity. And if he does not convert, then he gives Deerfield a chance to come back in this game. I know we were talking about how Deerfield just chucked it down on that last possession. But, I mean, Ty Meyer, before that, just got met at the goal crease by Ryan Oakman. And Ryan Oakman has been a key figure for this Deerfield team. Deerfield defense has let Highland Park beat them inside a couple times on a couple of moves, specifically the swim move by Jack Manoni and a couple other players. But Ryan Oakman has not let that affect his game so far.
Both these goalies, I mean, they play very differently. Highlights are obviously more willing to move around the field after getting the ball, but they've both been playing great and really making the stops they've needed in order to put in the work for their team. And now we come back for the timeout here as Deerfield looks to try to capitalize, make this a tie game with just under 8 minutes left in this third quarter here at Walters Field, Highland Park versus Deerfield boys lacrosse.
Waiting for the whistle. It will be Highland Park possession first side. That will be Levi Goldberg, the captain, scooping up the ball. Ref's whistle is blown. Arm is waved, and we have started. Levi Goldberg makes a move, but quickly shoved off his path there by number 9, Zane Danielewicz. Deerfield now with possession first side, running up. Getting chased from behind. Dumps it off, but cannot be controlled there. Great opportunity for Deerfield as Matt Hauser now clears it. Looking for Gosk. rolls up to him, great scoop, finds Minoni up in that. He's wide open, just misses.
In that top right corner of the goal, I guess the goalie's top left corner was just wide open. That's an unfortunate miss going wide from Minoni.
Minoni had the right idea there going first side. He missed first side by a couple inches at the end of the first half and just missed again by a couple of inches. He's getting close to every shot he takes. Minoni now with the ball behind the net. Tyler now looking to get an assist, sets the screen. Minoni refuses it, finds somebody, and cannot be controlled there by Verbal. Verbal now finds somebody and a great scoop by the goalie. That's Oskman again. Great pressure there as Deerfield will just chuck it out of bounds and it will be Highland Park ball again.
And again, that's not the first time we've seen Deerfield really just turn over the ball and chuck it downfield. I think Deerfield's loss in this game so far has been because of those turnovers and being careless when really just trying to attack on offense.
It was all true because Deerfield did not expect Michael Gimble to come chasing after the goal, and he did, and caused the goalie to make a quick decision before he felt like he wanted to. First side now, Ty Meyer looking for somebody. Overthrown. Something you notice, big hit there by Deerfield, but something you notice, you see a line of red and white players at the midfield just waiting for that ball to come rolling up past the midfield so they can scoop it up. It's interesting to know because you need 3 people on both sides of the field at all time. So they cannot cross over, otherwise that would be a penalty. Big advance here for Highland Park now. Ty Meyer with momentum. Getting hassled, and he draws a penalty. Ty Meyer has drawn a penalty. Highland Park looking for help. Throws it away, but scooped up there by Verbal. He finds Minoni. Minoni tries to make some move. Gets inside. Goes outside and just misses high.
I mean, Minoni is really due for a goal. How many times has he just barely missed that net high, wide, or just had a good stop on him? I mean, he's clearing out these defenders, but he just can't get that final step of the ball actually going into the net.
Yeah, Minoni has made a couple of defenders miss now.
I mean, and again, that's not to take away from the phenomenal game he's had, having 2 assists earlier in this game.
We're going to get a stoppage on the field here. Little confusion here, what's happening, but it looks like Deerfield called the timeout. 5:30 left on the clock. 2-1 still is the score. Very low scoring, but Highland Park has managed to maintain the lead midway through this third quarter. It will be Deerfield ball, it looks like, after this timeout, but, I mean, just a phenomenal game so far. You can't ask for a better game. I know a lot of people are looking for this offensive scoring games, but in a time when 5:31, they're going to have the second back to the clock. We just heard the ref scream up to the clock person here. He is insistent on that in that second. Second could become big down the field, down time in the fourth quarter when Deerfield may be looking for an extra time here. And we're waiting for this clock to be finished. But in other news, it's almost like a pitcher's duel. We've had a lot of no-hitters, but there's not – everyone's looking for a big home run game and big scoring runs, but there's not much – they're working on it, as we hear from the clock people, but there's not much better than a pitcher's duel. You have 2 pitchers going at each other, 0-0 tie, both going deep in the game, and that's almost what this is. 2 goals, and Matt Heiser and Oakman for Deerfield have been just absolutely phenomenal so far.
And that 5:31 now added to the clock. Does 1 second really make a difference? That's my question. I guess we'll just have to wait and find out later in this game.
Yeah, keep watching with us all the way through this entire game because 1 second left in the fourth quarter, we could almost see a spectacular goal to send this to OT or even a game winner.
And if for some reason you can't stay to the end of the game, well, don't worry. You can always come back on HPTV Athletics. This game is live streamed on that platform, as you know, as you're a viewer watching the game. But it will be there after the game. You can watch all the highlights, everything from the beginning of the game, the first face-off, to the very end in the last second. So if for some reason you have to leave and come back, or you can't watch it until tomorrow, don't worry, it's going to be there. And for all those players out there who will watch this film later, I hope you see yourself and learn something from it and continue progressing, because we love watching Highland Park sports, specifically Highland Park Lacrosse here today.
And as we get back to the action on the field, 5:31 is the time on the clock. Timeout now dumps it back down. Blowfield, Jack Manoni will whip it across to Gimbel. Gimbel looks up to Goldberg. Won't find anything there. Finds it all the way back to timeout. Timeout with a great shot. Oakman saved it, but didn't know where the ball went. Gave up a rebound, but Highland Park couldn't get anything off that rebound. They do, however, maintain possession. And a great shot in this goal. Levi Goldberg, the captain, bounces it over the right shoulder, of Oakman. And Highland Park has now taken a 3-1 lead.
There's only so many players on this team that have played lacrosse prior to entering high school. Levi Goldberg is one of them. He's played lacrosse for quite a while now, and it's part of the reason why he is captain on this team and why he's such a dominant player. And I also want to mention that he's recruited a lot of guys to this team. I mean, guys that we haven't seen out here necessarily, and guys that we have. I mean, I believe that he recruited Jeremy Schwab to this team. We have people deeper in the rosters. Jack Weinberg, another player that he recruited to this team. So Levi Goldberg has really been an integral part of the social aspect to this team and growing their membership. So they have this huge team that we see here today.
That's something you might notice on the sideline if you looking at these couple of shots. Deerfield not the biggest team, but that's what you expect. You expect they have an average-sized team. Highland Park on the other side has what looks like 2 or 3 teams on the sideline, and that's due to the fact that they don't have enough people for 2 teams, but they have a ton of people for 1 team. But nevertheless, that's a good thing to have. So you have depth, and if you always want to continue subs like they do in hockey, you always have fresh people on the field and fresh legs to gain control of the game in key situations. As now Deerfield gets a chance, fires it and misses wide. Missed first side there and tries to do a similar shot to Goldberg there. Bounces it up over the shoulder, but nope. Matt Hayes is saying he wants none of that. Up and oh my, what a pass. Andrew Kingstep, a name we called frequently in the first half, but haven't called so much yet the second half, looked for an absolute beautiful pass there and just could not find Matthew Paley. Deerfield will continue possession. Close side, beats his man, beats a check, but finally loses possession. Nate Ross trying to do a little too much. He already has 1 goal today. Sam Howard now trying to beat everybody. It will be Deerfield ball here. Nate Gross pass deep to Andrew Kingstep, and just a little too high for Kingstep to handle, as it will be turned right back over to Highland Park.
I mean, the defense or the offense and the defense with these turnovers for Deerfield has really been a detriment to their game. I mean, we've seen it with Oakman in goal, and now we see it with Kingstep on the field. 2 bad passes. And it's really unfortunate for Deerfield that they can't just keep possession of the ball, because these turnovers are really coming back to bite them.
Deerfield now looking for another chance and another overthrown. Kingstep this Deerfield team thinks Kingstep's about 7-footer. He's more like a 6-footer in reality. Foot too high over his head, and it'll be Highland Park ball once again. Ty Meyer now with possession. Beats his defenders. He's got room. Passes to Manoni. Manoni can't handle a high pass from Ty Meyer.
And that was almost a perfect play right there. If Manoni was able to just catch that ball, cradle it for a second, and whip it into the net. I mean, I think Oakman would have been caught off guard because there was no defenders in the way there, and Oakman was definitely on his toes. So, you definitely got to complete the passes to make these opportunities work.
Yeah, and as we were discussing before, Deerfield is throwing out bounds once again from their own zone behind the net. Lots of turnovers. That's biting them in the butt so far as they're down 3-1. And Highland Park, we discussed earlier in this game how Deerfield was just spending tons of time on the HB side of the field. It's been the opposite. And another goal. Oh my, variable from about 20 feet outside. Just fires it, whips it, and it goes past Ryan Oakman for the goal and gives Highland Park a 4-1 lead. I mean, oh my. Highland Park just has been piling on late. Like I was saying, Deerfield spent the first half of the first quarter all in HB zone. And then ever since that, it's been all Highland Park basically in Deerfield zone. Deerfield did have a goal early in the game to tie it up 1-1 with Highland Park. But ever since then, Highland Park has scored 3 unanswered goals now. It stands 4-1, 2:44 left in the third quarter. Draw at center field here. Deerfield comes up with it. Looking for a move, looking for a quick answer. They need a quick answer if they want to stay in this game. Close side, that's Ryan Brewster looking for something, and they score. Just the answer Deerfield needed. Ryan Kingsep finds the back of the net, and a quick answer is what Deerfield needed. The doctor ordered it, prescribed it, and Deerfield made it happen.
I mean, Deerfield's very quick response. I don't know what happened there for Highland Park, but maybe they were just a little overconfident being 3 up because now it's just a 2-point game. And, a lot of game left. We still have a whole fourth quarter, 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the third. I mean, the game is not anywhere close to over. So Highland Park should keep fighting and being aggressive and try to score a few more goals here in the second half.
That was just the momentum Deerfield needed. And, I mean...
And it's going to be a fight for this draw as the ball went flying. Highland Park picks it up, and they lose it. Deerfield now scooping it further into Highland Park's territory. Highland Park with the ball again.
We're going to get a call there, and it will be Deerfield ball. But Deerfield now looking to spend the majority of possession time in Highland Park's offensive zone. And once again, Ryan Kingsep overthrown, but it ends up in the hands of Deerfield. Another long throw, but an easy save for Matt Hollister there. Nobody was blocking his view. No bounce whatsoever. Right into the breadbasket of his net. Now Goldberg looking for something. Beats his defender. Passes it to Minoni. Minoni slows it down. Finds somebody. Misses the pass though. Gosk now with the ball. Looking for somebody. Overthrows Minoni, but Minoni will be able to recover the ball. Gets a nice spin move to avoid the check. Behind the net. Stop and go sends his defender flying. He's got space now. Gosk now close side. Swings across field now. Goldberg, the captain, tries to make a move. Quickly stood up there. And Deerfield will come up with possession. First side. Looking to do something here. Deerfield looking for another quick goal. Brewster now makes the pass. Deerfield makes a couple moves and gets absolutely leveled. Jack Fishman blindside hit on Deerfield. I mean, holy cow. Cameron Sloan. Jack Fishman maybe wants some revenge on the Jack Minoni hit earlier and absolutely blindside leveled Cameron Sloan to the field. He will sit off. Love the intensity, love the hit, but in the time where Deerfield just scored quick, 4-2, still a lot of time left on the clock. Bad penalty take by Highland Park here as Deerfield will go man up with 43 seconds left in the third quarter. Ryan King's at first side now, looking for somebody. He will take his time. It finds its way up top. Finds its way all the way around. That's Bushka now. Looking for somebody. Will take his time. Looking for Kings at Millfield. Doesn't find him. And a great block by Matt Heiser. He denied Josh Gallender at the doorstep as now Kingstep finds an opening. And a great defense now as Kingstep misses high. Man up, Deerfield is getting chances, but Matt Heiser has stuffed them on the doorstep to keep this a two-score game. As the clock is ticking, we got 5 seconds left in the third. Deerfield looking for one more shot. Won't find it as we go into a 4-2 game in the fourth quarter. Highland Park found 3 unanswered goals, Variable being the last of them in the third quarter. But a quick answer by Deerfield and Andrew Kingstep to make this a 2-score man's mode game. And just stay with us. Unfortunately, I will not be able to announce this fourth quarter with you, but you will be left in very good hands with Stephen Noble.
Don't worry, I'm still here.
My partner. I know I've done a lot of talking recently, but, I mean, this is an exciting game. Stay with us. If you can't stay like I can't, I definitely will be rewatching this on HPTV Athletics YouTube channel later tonight to see the outcome of this amazing game. Stephen Noble, over to you.
It's been a pleasure, Ben. Yeah, so we enter here in this fourth quarter here. It's going to be 4-2. Giants are up 2 points. We've had some incredible goals from both teams. Jack Benoni making a lot of assists for the Giants, but hasn't actually been able to have a goal himself. You know, I'm doing 2 things at once, a little commentary, a little camera operating, so I'm going to try to deliver as much commentary as I can, but I also want to deliver the visuals so you see the full picture of this game. So if I'm a little quiet at times, I apologize. But let's keep rocking and rolling as the players start coming back onto the field for this fourth quarter. It's been an exciting game thus far. You know, one thing that's kind of uncommon that's happening today is so many fans still in the stadium for Walters Field. Typically, we see, especially with football games, after that first half, a lot of people leave. But you know, lacrosse is a little bit more of a niche sport. People are really out here to support their kids, support their grandkids, support their friends. So we have a nice big section, both Highland Park and Deerfield families. That's one of the beauties of our little over-the-highway rivalry. And many people are still here waiting to see how this fourth quarter plays out because it's a close game, 4-2. Not very high scoring for lacrosse. Sometimes you see these much bigger scoring games. So we'll see here as we do the draw, the face-off. You know, Highland Park's been pretty dominant up the gate with these face-offs, but maybe Deerfield has something in their pocket for this fourth quarter. And it looks like they do, as Deerfield has the ball. And Highland Park gets it right back, charging up the field. And he's zooming. Number 20 passes to Ty Meyer. Number 2 looking to do something. And he passes it away for an assist. And easy for Oakman to just scoop that up for the goal. Oakman moving around the goal, pressured, and passes it out to number 30. And, 30 dropped. It gives Highland Park an opportunity to be on offense once again. And Highland Park's going to seize that opportunity with number 2, Ty Meyer, behind the net, passes to 17. And now we slow it down. That's something beautiful about Highland Park's team here, is that they're able to really just slow down the play, put the brakes on when they need to, and speed up the pace when they need to as well. Benoni, a huge part of this team, trying to drive in, but getting double teamed. Couldn't make anything happen. So Highland Park goes to their safe space right behind the net. They've been loving to play there this game and come behind the net. One of their greatest goals of this game, picked by Jack Benoni, Ty Meyer goal early in the first. That was made because of a behind the net little play there. And Highland Park's really relied on that to sort of reset rather than going to the top of the key like Deerfield has. And now we see a pass zooming down the field. and Highland Park looks to utilize it. Again, a turnover by Deerfield. Been a real problem for them this game. And out of bounds it goes. Deerfield will take the ball up here. Now we've seen some bad passes from Deerfield. Will we see one again? And, oh, almost dropped, but he kept it, and now he's cradling it in, trying to make something happen on offense. Down 2 goals. Deerfield needs something to make sure they're caught up by the end of this fourth quarter if they want to win. And Highlights are taking the ball up, not afraid to be out of the net, and really looking for a good pass, surveying the field, not just throwing it away, something that they've done really well. But Highlights are hit, and thank God he gets it away so he can get back in the goal, not leaving a very vulnerable position for Highland Park. Could have been a disaster there, but was stopped by Highlights being able to throw it back to a teammate. Now Deerfield has the ball. And there will be a stoppage in the game. Unfortunately, my lacrosse knowledge is not good enough to tell you why there is a stoppage, but there is a stoppage. Look at how beautiful of a day it is. Sun shining. We've heard a little bit of wind earlier, just a nice cool off. It's in the 70s or 80s. Really some good spring weather as we come towards the end of May and beginning of June. Summer is almost upon us. It's been something really nice to see. I mean, I love the warm weather. I hope you do too. But, you know, some people in Chicago, they live in Chicago for the cold, which I never understood. But, hey, snow is snow. It's fun the first week you see it, isn't it? Now Highland Park taking the ball up the field, looking for another offensive opportunity, making this a 3-point game possibly. Ty Meyer with a move and right into the net on Oakman. Beautiful turnaround, and it's because he was behind the net. He came from behind the net, hooked it around, and just put it right into the goal. Something that Ty Meyer did earlier in this game with a pick from Jack Manoni. But he did it again here, and I think that's really, I don't know if that's Highland Park's specialty as a reset behind the goal or Ty Meyer's specialty to reset behind the goal. But he's made stuff happen from that position, and you know what? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what they always say, and that's really what he's doing here. So now we take it to center field as we see another draw or face-off. I know in hockey it's a face-off. I heard Ben say draw earlier. I don't know if that's a technical term or not, but if it is, sorry for saying face-off this whole time. If it's not, well, then here we are with face-off. And there seems to be some sort of stoppage. People are cheering. I don't know what exactly is going on. Maybe it's a timeout, and I think it's a Highland Park timeout. Maybe even a Deerfield timeout. I'm not 100% certain, but both teams are congregating at their respective benches here and thinking about where to go next in this game. Highland Park now up 3 points where they were earlier. And Deerfield responded quickly, so will Deerfield come out with a quick response like they did before? Only time will tell, obviously, but Deerfield needs to get something in motion. I don't think it's necessarily being more aggressive in this game. I think it's just avoiding turnovers. That's really been their downside in this game, and I know I keep repeating myself and reiterating this point, but these bad passes, throwing it out of bounds, it's really been the reason why Deerfield is not capitalized on their offensive opportunities, because they haven't allowed themselves to even get in a place where they can create an opportunity. You know, thinking that Kingspin, I believe his name is like 7 feet tall. You know, he keeps missing these passes. It's not his fault. It's just because they're overthrowing them over his head. Meanwhile, Highland Park really just playing a very patient and methodical game. Highlizer not scared to get out of the net and just pass it with logic and a method and a reasoning to it. Has allowed Highland Park with Jack Manoni so agile to run down the field. Ty Meyer now with 2 goals. We have as well as Verbal with a goal, a player that's you know, in and out of the game a little bit more than others on the team. And then also Cooper Gimbel has had a goal as well. So a wide variety of Giants have scored here today, really showcasing the team effort that this game has been. You know, as much as we talk about Jack Manoni being a star player, Ty Meyer always having the ball, Levi Goldberg being so aggressive, it's everyone on this Giants team that has put in the work to get where they are here and trying to really just finish off this revenge game as they lost earlier in the season 10-2 to Deerfield. As I said before, we're over the highway rivals. So it's definitely a fun game. If you want to rewatch it at any point or have to leave at some point and want to see how this ends, HPTV Athletics is your go-to hub for that. And now we're here with a face-off. and an aggressive face-off of if that. And there's a flag, taunting, and they are fighting, stick-checking each other, number 9 and number 30 on Highland Park. Will they both go to the benches or just number 9? All I know is that got a little out of hand very quickly. And number 30 now pumping up the crowd, almost taunting number 9 in Deerfield. But number 9 got a little aggressive for sure. Number 30 on Highland Park, that's going to be Jack Fishman, who got in that little ruffling of feathers there, or rustling of feathers. Yeah, quite a game, quite a game. You can definitely see that rivalry coming out in that moment just before. You know, we don't have any replay going. We're down to a limited crew. Just me and Mr. Filer, our great and dedicated sponsor here. Been to every game, been live streaming, came into a new position at the beginning of the year. It's just been the perfect cog in this beautiful system and really fit perfectly. So, Mr. Filer, thank you and for all your dedication to HPTV, Highland Park High School, and being a part of this giant family for right now and hopefully for many more years to come. And speaking of giant family, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've maybe said it 10 times this game, but this crowd here today still sticking around with 9 minutes left to go. And, you know, as much as it is a 3-point game and it's kind of close, Highland Park really has had this dominance, especially after that little aggressive brawl we saw there during the face-off. I think Deerfield might be feeling a little defeated. Really just making stupid errors more often. Playing a little bit too quickly, not thinking about what they're doing before they do it. So yeah, what a game, what a game. My first full lacrosse game actually watching it. So it's been really fun. Lacrosse is definitely a fun game. It's kind of a mix of like soccer and a little bit of hockey for sure is in there. I'm tempted to say baseball, but I don't feel like baseball. Maybe tennis is more fitting. If you're trying to make a mishmash of sports to describe lacrosse. But honestly, it's its own game. It's a very fun game. I've seen some college lacrosse clips on TikTok or on YouTube. Those are always very cool. Definitely look up some college lacrosse highlights because those players are on another level. I mean, Deerfield and Highland Park players, just as high schoolers, have been phenomenal here today. But some of the trick shots that these collegiate athletes are able to make is just incredible. So when this game is over, of course, you know, click off, and if you're inspired by watching this game, you know, look up some highlights of collegiate lacrosse or even pro lacrosse. I don't know if there's a pro league. I assume there is, but yeah. And the refs still trying to figure out what they're going to do here, who's going to be in, who's going to be out. But it looks like Jack Fishman, number 8, is still going to be able to be out on this field. Or Jack Fishman's not number 8. That's going to be Levi Goldberg. Jack Fishman's number 30. And I'm not seeing Jack Fishman out on this field, actually. So maybe Jack Fishman may be out as well. Yeah, Highland Park down to 9 players, and Deerfield down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players. So it looks like, unless I counted wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, Deerfield down to 7, Highland Park down to 9. So looks like a penalty for Highland Park and 2 penalties given out to Deerfield here. We'll make this very interesting as we proceed in this game. Maybe another moment for Highland Park to really blow out this lead and take the lead. I mean, it's a 3-point game right now. If they make it 4, then, you know, the tides will definitely be turned. And we see Levi Goldberg taking up the ball, trying to make something happen and capitalize on this penalty situation. And it's out of bounds. Deerfield will pick it up, and right here, they're not going to try to be aggressive, or maybe they will because the clock's running down with only 9 minutes left. But I think Deerfield's goal right here is to try to get through these penalties, and we see another Deerfield player coming back onto the field now. But just try to get through these penalties, try to just keep it out of Highland Park's hands, and just be methodical, take it slow. And they won't even have a chance to, as number 17 on Highland Park makes a great block, applying phenomenal pressure, and makes Deerfield go out of bounds on that play. That's going to be number 30 on Deerfield, who had a tough time. A lot of credit goes out to number 17 on Highland Park, applying that pressure, doing a phenomenal job to turn over that ball. I mean, Highland Park, even in these later minutes of the game, you know, 3 points up, still being aggressive, playing with heart, playing with pride. I mean, they had a tough beginning to their season, a tough loss to Deerfield earlier in the season, and they're feeling good right now because they know they're a different team than they were. And, you know, it's unfortunate there's not a longer season as there typically is because of COVID this year, because Highland Park is really coming into their own. And we see a Deerfield man down, looks to be hurt, injured. I wasn't watching. I was watching the ball, so I'm not exactly sure what happened. And maybe it was a little punch in the no-no area, and that always hurts. So I think he's just going to have to maybe walk that off, whether that was a kick or a punch or a stick got caught there. Probably on accident, maybe a penalty. But he definitely looks hurt. I don't know if that's a hamstring or what that is, but something in the lower body. And we're back on. He's standing once again, walking off the field on his own 2 feet. Not exactly sure what happened there, but glad he's feeling better. You know, never a good sign to see anyone injured on either team. You don't wish that. You want a fair fight in a battle, both teams being as healthy as possible. So I'm glad that he's walking on his feet. Maybe he'll come back in the game later. We have 8 minutes and 25 seconds left in this Highland Park Deerfield game. Highland Park taking the ball from behind the net, one of their favorite places to be. We've seen Ty Meyer capitalize there twice now in this game. 17 fighting for the ball, and a kick by 17 on Deerfield. Ty Meyer will scoop up this ball here and just assess the situation. Look at him. He's confident, letting the clock run down just a few seconds. And now we see number 8, which is going to be Levi Goldberg, taking the ball, passing to Ty Meyer once again. And behind the net, Highland Park's favorite place to be. Such a dominant place for Highland Park. I love seeing them behind the net personally. And just a great block. I mean, a whip of a shot and a great block by Deerfield there, playing this slower, methodical defense, which I like seeing from them. You know, they're really just trying to match the pace of Highland Park, not trying to exceed it, not going under it. And that's the key on defense, I think, is really just matching the pace that the offense is setting. If you're trying to go too fast, well, you're going to be aggressive, and there's going to be holes for the offense to score. And Levi Goldberg coming up. And a missed pass to Minoni, I believe that was. Goldberg to Minoni. I don't know what happened there. Maybe just a miscommunication. Definitely frustrating to see that turnover. And Deerfield now with the ball, really hoping they can make some sort of offensive opportunity. I mean, they've been playing in Deerfield's territory almost this whole second half. I mean, obviously there's been offensive opportunities for Deerfield, but not many. And we're fighting at about the midline. Deerfield just trying to seize possession, but Highland Park so aggressive in their tactics, and it will finally go to Deerfield at the end of the battle. And now we're on offense, and a missed pass, and it will go out of bounds. Deerfield's ball, I'm assuming. And yes, it will go the way of Deerfield, number 27, taking it in. As he runs in, pressure being applied by number 12 and 20, comes back out. Top of the key is where Deerfield likes to put it, as they just sort of play a passing game, try to get open and avoid these defenders. And again, a missed pass turns into a turnover. Highland Park's ball really been the defeat of Deerfield's game. I mean, Highland Park has played phenomenal on both ends, of course, but these turnovers have killed Deerfield for sure, and been part of the reason why they're down, and Highland Park has been so dominant. But, you know, anytime there's turnovers, you got to give credit to the other team for capitalizing on those opportunities. I mean, it's not like Highland Park has just gotten the ball and then not done anything with it. I mean, obviously, with 5-2, they put 5 goals on the board by capitalizing on those turnovers and change of possessions. And Ty Meyer will now have the ball after number 7 had a hard fight. great pass. I mean, very powerful. Ty Meyer picks it up, getting batted by 2 defenders like the stick is a baseball bat out here. Number 1 to number 11, and he whips it. Oh, beautiful save by O'Kin. Tosses it down to the midline, and once again, oh, and it's not overthrown this time. Number 24 picks it up, loses it, and that's going to be number 20 trying to capitalize on the situation. Does he? Oh, his stick broke. Wow, his stick broke. What is he going to do? He doesn't know. And now he's being pulled out. Deerfield's trying to capitalize on the situation, but Highlizer doesn't let him. Highlizer, the goalie, we haven't said his name in a while because Highland Park has just been playing and playing, but Highlizer bringing it all the way up the field. Is he going to keep going? No, he passed it to Ty Meyer. Only 2 defenders in front of him, but Ty couldn't. Oh, and now we're going to get a stoppage. And again, my lacrosse knowledge, not exactly sure why there was a stoppage, but Ty couldn't exactly get the ball in his possession to make something happen there. And now we're going to get Deerfield taking the ball up. 17. I mean, getting the ball in possession is just a battle at this point for every team. I mean, we only have 2 teams here, but in every single situation, I mean, both teams playing really hard these final minutes with only 4:30 left. Deerfield down 3 goals. And there's going to be a timeout on the field as both teams convene on their respective benches. We'll zoom in a little bit here on Highland Park's bench. Unfortunately, we don't have the audio like there are for some professional sports, but hey, at least we have the visual, and that's what matters. And you can hear my beautiful voice all the time. And even after the game, you can hear my beautiful voice. And Ben's as well, because he has a great voice too, by going to HPTV Athletics. The game after the game. The game never ends when this game ends because HPTV Athletics is always there. We stream the games and then we upload them for everyone's enjoyment. So we have a beautiful archive of games from all across this year and all of Highland Park sports. I mean, we have everything from swimming, diving, wrestling, to the more conventional stuff of the football and basketball. We're hoping to get a baseball game coming soon, so stay tuned for that. We have lacrosse right now, obviously. You know, one of the beauties of high schools, especially Highland Park High School, is there's so many sports offered and so many opportunities for us to bring you sports that you may not normally see just on TV. So we love doing that, and you know, both women's and men's sports is up on there. You know, girls soccer has done phenomenal this year. Big props to them. So just a lot happening at Highland Park High School as we come to the final week of school. In just about a day after Friday, we'll be entering the final week, also known as finals. A lot of AP tests for those upperclassmen students out there. Seniors already done with school. Graduation coming soon for them. Very exciting time of year, and obviously a very exciting game for Highland Park, 5-2 to finish out their season against Deerfield High School, their biggest rivals in their conference, because we're across the highway. And now, players back on the field. Game will resume. Looks like Deerfield's going to be taking up the ball. And there's a shot at number 25. Ready to go. Already off the bat, there's a penalty. What was it? Slashing maybe from number 21. Is it justified? I'm not sure. I'm not a lacrosse expert. Deerfield just looking to get one more goal on the net, on the board. Just at least one goal. Just trying to close that lead a little bit with only 4 minutes left. But Highlizer won't let that happen. And now penalties are going to be called. Levi Goldberg is going to enter the game. I can't see the number of the person who's coming out, but Levi Goldberg entering the game right now. Levi Goldberg being a team captain, such an integral part of the social aspect to this team and the community of the team, but also an integral part of the team in terms of play as well, being just an aggressive member. You know, that's kind of what I see Levi as, is just, you know, he's an agitator. He fights for every ball till he gets it in his possession, and that's one of his key skill sets. And here we go, Deerfield taking up the ball. Passing it around that arc, trying to find an opening or something, but Highland Park playing great defense. I feel like Highland Park is more aggressive on defense than they have been, especially in that last sort of possession there, but the ball will get flung out of bounds. And Deerfield again seems to be taking it up. .25 swinging around the net, and it's in. I love this around the net stuff. I mean, we've seen it from Highland Park multiple times. Now we're finally seeing it from Deerfield. It catches the goalie off guard because when you're behind the net, now they're battling from two fronts. They're battling from their blind spot behind them and all the guys in front of them that they could pass to and get that assist, and that's exactly what happened there. Deerfield swings around the net. Highlights not sure where he should look. Should he look in front of him? Should he look behind him? And noticing that Highlizer was focusing on the man behind him, a beautiful little pass right over the net and just swing it in under his legs, bounce it right in. Deerfield now up 5-3, trying to close that gap. Only 2 goals behind with 3 minutes. I mean, we've seen crazier things happen. Deerfield has come back before after a Highland Park goal and just scored in 2 seconds. So maybe Deerfield will have 2 quick scores right here and we'll get a 5-5 interesting game. Highland Park looking to not make that happen and maybe try to extend the lead again to 3 points. And here we are. Who's going to get the ball off the face-off? Highland Park, Deerfield. Only time will tell, and it's a battle. Deerfield with the final possession. Highland Park retreating to defense now. And passing it up the field past the midline. And an overthrown pass to out of bounds with the turnover. Deerfield. This has been their big problem all game. If they can just not have those turnovers, capitalize on their possessions, maybe this game would be very different, but 5-3, 2 points behind. Still a chance to come back. And a big bomb by Highland Park all the way down the field. We see a fight. Levi Goldberg finally getting it and not letting that ball go out of bounds or in Deerfield's hands. And now we're going to see a stoppage. And it's a timeout called with only 2 minutes and 43 seconds left as Deerfield looks to try to make something happen in these final minutes. We did have 1 second added to the clock earlier in the game as we saw a ref countless times scream up 31-31, trying to change that clock from 30 to 31. It did get changed. So we'll see if that second comes into action. How much impact can a second make? If Deerfield, scores 2 goals here, maybe we'll be 5-5, and in the final remaining second, they hit that buzzer beater right into the net. We'll see. Only time will tell. I know I keep repeating that phrase, but that's the truth of the matter, folks. And players beginning to come back on the field here to play out this final 2 minutes and 45 seconds. Deerfield in the deficit, looking to come back. Highland Park standing tall, trying to seal this final redemption as they lost to Deerfield earlier in the year. What a storyline. What a game. Let's see how it all plays out and finishes. And if for some reason you have to go, another reminder, HPTV Athletics, that game will be waiting for you. The game after the game. From every single moment from the first minute to the last score. You'll be able to see it on HPTV Athletics after this game. And we're going to see a change in possession here. Deerfield with the ball. And there's a flag. Highland Park a little too aggressive out the gate. I believe that's on 32, Jack Manoni, as he goes out. This could be just what Deerfield needs. A penalty to start this final remaining 2 minutes. Come into it. 10 to 9 players on the field. Just what Deerfield needs. We will see. And before we thrust you back into the action, as there's still some stuff to be figured out on the field, I want to make another mention of Palms and Jammers. Phenomenal job tonight to all the ladies and gentlemen who participate in those programs. It's really nice that they are able to dance and have a senior night despite COVID here limiting everything. You know, it's nice that everything's back and opening up, and it's been great opportunities for all students and staff and faculty, and hopefully next year's in person, face-to-face, and no more of, you know, muting and videos turned off next year. And now back to the action. A great save by Highlizer as Deerfield tries to just capitalize on this penalty situation with Manoni, an integral player to Highland Park's team, out. And Highlizer tosses it downfield to Goldberg, being very aggressive, dodging a few guys. A pass right there. There's no defenders in front of him, but Oken makes a great save in front of the net as the ball now rolls out of bounds. And that was almost a very dangerous situation there for Deerfield, as no defenders were in front of number 17 on that play. Almost another goal for Gimbel. And we go to midfield as Deerfield tries to gain possession once again, but Highland Park doesn't let him as they scoop it up. And oh, some aggressive nature by number 6 on Deerfield, but Highland Park keeps possession. Phenomenal retainment of possession there. As, you know, Jack Manoni, I believe that is, back in the game. And again, I apologize, you know, if camera, the visual has been a little bit off this game. You know, doing both commentary and camera work at the same time. Definitely a struggle, definitely a battle, but, you know, I do it for you guys at home, the ones that cannot make it to this great game on this beautiful day outside. So I hope you've been enjoying so far, and we have a penalty on the field once again as someone had a big slash, stick fell out of the hand. And some changes in men on the field. Just 41 seconds left in this game. Highland Park up by 2. They are so close to victory, they can just smell it. They can taste it. But can they seal the W? Deerfield still playing hard, not giving up, not discouraged, knows that they can make something happen with just 40 seconds left. And they will try their hardest too. And now Highland Park bringing up the ball. Deerfield hoping they can get it. That's Zach Sweet playing D. Couldn't make anything happen. Another pass back to number 16. And we're back in play. Deerfield coming up with the ball. Looking for it. No goalie in the net. The ball's loose. Manoni picking it up. Can he get it? Yeah, there's no goalie in the goal. And right in there, Manoni finally with his payout for the game. Been looking for a goal all game. Has had 2, maybe 3 assists. I lost count. Been an integral part to this whole Giants offense and defense. What a phenomenal job. Capitalized on such a vulnerable situation, putting it 6-3, sealing the deal with 18 seconds left as we will play out these last few seconds of the game. with Giants up by 3. Really been a fight for both teams. Giants seeking their revenge and redemption and finally getting it after losing to Deerfield earlier in the season. And now we'll be going to the center of the field for the face-off. And still trying to get that face-off, Deerfield not giving up in these final moments. Really admirable quality to just keep being resilient even when you know time is really of the essence. Only 8 seconds left, 6-3. Deerfield with possession, no. Highland Park Highlights are running around with the ball. And that will be the end of regulation, folks. A Giants HPHS win over Deerfield. 6-3 is the final score. I mean, what a phenomenal fight between both teams. Again, HBTV Athletics, the game after the game. We post all of our live streams on that YouTube channel right there. So if you want to see highlights, see your favorite moments from this game, make sure to go back and check it out. From everyone on the HBTV crew, our phenomenal camera people, and Ben, my co-anchor as well, who was here earlier in the game. Thank you so much for coming out, listening. We hope you enjoyed and witnessed a great game. Have a great night.
Congratulations, Highland Park Giants. Thank you all.
Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay, let's
Happy Wednesday and Feliz Miércoles HP. I'm Dania.
And I'm Neil, and we're here with your morning announcements. HPTV will meet today after school. Please contact Mr. Filer or Miss Castro for the in-person and Zoom room details.
Two giant congratulations go out this morning to DECA and the boys gymnastics team. DECA has had a strong finish at the annual international competition.
And boys gymnastics celebrates the state champion. Special congratulations to Anthony Hyatt. As always, go Giants.
Seniors, for those of you who will be attending college in the fall, you need to request that final high school transcript be sent to the institution you will be attending. Your transcript is not automatically sent. Check out the instructions on how to do so on the post-secondary counseling site, and more details in your HPHS Giant Life News located in your student email.
3 announcements for the juniors. 1. Please set up your post-secondary planning appointment with your assigned post-secondary counselor. Assignments can be found in Maya under Your Counselor. Appointments are scheduled online through Calendly. Links to Calendly are on the post-secondary counseling website under Contacts. Students must complete the self-assessment questionnaire prior to the appointment. The last date for appointments is this Friday, May 21st.
2. Please visit the link in your HPHS Giant Life News for a list of upcoming virtual college fairs and virtual programs. This list will be updated regularly, so check back often. College fairs are great opportunities to get information about a wide variety of colleges and universities. Virtual programs are excellent options to learn more about a single college, a group of colleges, or some aspect of the college research and application process.
3. Now is the time to set up your summer appointments for your senior photos. Go to www.srphoto.com to select your session type, date, and time. Please read the email from Stuart Rogers for login information. Any questions, please contact Stuart Rogers Photography at the information on your screen now.
Everything you wanted to know about Focus on the Arts and how you can get involved will be discussed at a virtual informational meeting next Thursday, May 27th at 11 a.m. Focus on the Arts is a fine arts experience held at HPHS for HP students and community over several days and evenings. The next focus will be in April 2022, and hundreds of volunteers are needed. Whether you have volunteered at Focus before or are interested in participating for the first time, please come learn about all the aspects of this wonderful event held biannually since 1965. To RSVP, email the address on your screen now to let us know you are attending, and you'll receive a link to the meeting.
National Asian Pacific American Heritage Month is a great time to start learning how to better support AAPI friends and colleagues.
While there is no one right away, 24/7, 365, Beyond suggests teaching yourself about the history of propaganda and hate and committing to taking actionable steps to be a continuous ally.
For more information and links, visit your Giant Life News. I'm Neil.
I'm Dania, and for everything we were not able to cover, visit your HPHS Giant Life News. Nos vemos en el otoño, HP.
See you in the fall, HP.